busy. But yes, here she is. So, good morning. Good morning, good morning. Today is actually Thursday. I am starting the vlog super late because, other than just really bad depression episodes, I was also just really busy as well. I turned in my teaching portfolio that's due every year, because as a GTA, it's more than just being hired and to teach. Like you're being evaluated. They're making sure that you are growing and doing things right. You have a teaching philosophy, and basically this portfolio is also there to help you get hired outside of school, essentially. What is a portfolio, right, in general? Especially since I'm not going to be taking any ceramic classes anytime soon. It is down to the last 5 weeks of the semester, and I'm just way too busy to have any free time. And to be honest, if I do have any semblance of free time, I'd much rather be reading. Yeah, I turned in my teaching portfolio for the year, and something that we needed to include in the portfolio are student evaluations. And I do avoid my own reviews, I really do. So seeing some of the evaluations that were written about me was kind of disheartening. I guess only because to give myself credit, there were only like 1 or 2 bad reviews. Not to toot my own horn, but I got a lot of good positive feedback, especially a lot of them were just saying she just needs to be more organized. Completely fair, completely true. I haven't given myself time to like vent or cry about this because I'm really busy. This semester they just turned in their second essay, and I am going to be basically grading all weekend. So I am going to be grading all weekend and also doing a class lesson plan, because next week I will be teaching my first actual literature class, and I'm really excited about that. I understand needing to start with English composition. I'm barely new. I'm barely teaching and everything like that. GTAs have no right, I guess, teaching actual literature class. I don't know. I'm just really excited because I feel like I do have enough experience now to be able to take that step. And who knows, maybe by having this opportunity next semester, I'll actually have my own class to teach, and that would be really cool because I am tired of this. I'm specifically tired of 1101, I'm not gonna lie. I know the changes that I want to make for 1101 next time I teach this class to hopefully, yeah, my hair is just not cooperating today, so my students are gonna have to see me as a tomato again. There are a lot of changes that I want to make for the next time that I teach 1101. I'm teaching 1102 this semester, and it's going great. For 1101, I already have a lot of changes that I want to make, but it'd be cool to not need to teach that. Class is actually about to start, so I will see you guys in the next clip. Good. I was gonna say good morning, but it is 3 p.m. I decided I needed a break from what I was doing, so I might as well update the vlog. Today is Saturday, and because my students turned in their second essay, a big assignment, their second essay, I have been grading, basically, is what I'm doing. I like to split up, I guess, my grading throughout the day because it could get a little overwhelming just reading so many essays at once, and then also reading so many difficult to read essays all at once. What I did do in the morning, however, was I went through each essay, and with Turnitin, I flagged all of the essays that came out with over 50% on AI. And while I completely understand that sometimes Turnitin.com can't be the most reliable source in detecting AI, usually if it gets flagged with higher than around like honestly 80%, it's honestly pretty accurate. And with the constant change in policies within the school itself. I've been reflecting a lot on my policy with AI, and I am still a strict no AI classroom. I don't think AI belongs in composition classrooms. I don't think AI belongs in first year writing classrooms whatsoever. After that, I could care less, honestly, but those are my opinions. Just saying. Anyways, I decided instead of just grading very harshly, and I decided this time around for Unit 2 is that I will hold meetings with the people who were flagged with a very high percentage of AI, specifically the 100% people that were flagged with AI, just so we could talk about it, just so we could see why it possibly got flagged with AI. And, I can't necessarily fail them, but I can take off points for bad writing. So I want with this conversation to essentially give them a chance to redo the work, rewrite their essay, so that they won't have the possibility of AI being detected. One of the biggest concerns is Grammarly, because Grammarly no longer just helps you with your grammar. It also starts rewriting your own paper if you let it. All the suggestions like, oh, use this phrase, this sounds more accurate, all of them is no longer your own work. All of that is now officially AI writing your paper for you. And that is what I want to encourage my students not to use. So if they use Grammarly, oh, I didn't use ChatGPT, I didn't use General AI, I didn't do any of that, but I did use Grammarly. Okay, then you have an opportunity I'm giving them the opportunity to rewrite their essay and not use Grammarly in that sense. I can't control it if they use it punctuation wise, but usually if it's just Grammarly, the percentage is basically non-existent. Like it literally has like a little star situation in the percentage box as opposed to like a full-on percentage. So basically I just want to talk to my students about it. Honestly, I don't know what I'm gonna do if they admit that they're using AI, because we would have to go through this whole academic honesty trial situation, and I just personally feel that's a little too extreme, because it's not like they're plagiarizing, but whatever. Well, I mean, it is plagiarizing, but I think it's a little too extreme just for AI. But basically, I'm giving everybody that has AI, that was flagged with AI, to rewrite and redo their essay, because it is possible. It is possible to not be flagged with AI. I'm grading them right now, so I know it's possible. I just have to convince these students to do the work. Is that it? Do their work, actually. This is why I needed a break from grading. Anyways, I unfortunately have not been able to read for funsies. I did pick up The Buried Giant by Kazu Ishiguro and The Great Gatsby, but they are both class readings. Buried Giant is for my medieval class, and The Great Gatsby is for a class that I will be teaching, substituting in, and I'm excited because it's the first time that I will be actually teaching literature as opposed to writing composition. So that's very exciting. I do throw in short stories here and there within my own classes in 1101 and 1102. So like I forced myself to have that experience in a sense, but this would be the first time where it's like, this is an English class type situation, I'm hoping that this will look really good in my resume so that maybe starting next year, I could have my own English class, my own, what is it called? American literature survey situation, since that's where I am specializing in. Who knows? So yeah, no for funsies reading, but she is reading nonetheless. I'm only one chapter in The Very Giant, but I'm liking it so far. I read Clara in the Sun a couple of years ago, and I personally didn't like it, so I was not really excited to read another Kazu Ishiguro novel, but I'm liking it so far. I love that our main characters are older, like they're an older couple, and their relationship is really cute, honestly. I think They sound so adorable. I don't like the overuse of the word princess, but I do like that the husband within the couple is calling his wife princess. And then Gatsby. I mean, it's fine so far. I don't really have much to say about it, but I'm not bored, so that's good. I haven't read Gatsby since high school, and now that I think about it, I don't think I really actually read the book in high school. I think either I skipped and pretended that I read it for my class, or within the honors classes that I was taking in high school, it just was never part of my curriculum. I honestly can't remember which, but I don't really remember reading it at all now that I think about it. So this is going to be exciting. Like I said, it's Saturday, so I don't know how far into the week this vlog will be, but I will be updating on how that's going. Treat and read my book. I am working tomorrow, but I have the morning to myself, so I want to be able to sleep early so that I can have a nice chill morning as well. If you don't know what a brick is, it's basically a magnet device that locks certain apps that you can choose from your phone whenever you tap it. I have apps that can physically barrier for specific apps. I can still use my phone for like music, other things, but highly recommend for a student or someone that works from home, or just someone who wants to spend less time on their phone. Hi. Believe it or not, it's the next day. Today is Sunday, and yes, I am repeating my outfit, but I don't go anywhere, so it doesn't really matter. I I took a break from grading in the sense that today is Sunday and I am not grading whatsoever. And boy, do I feel so good about that specific decision. I'm so glad I did that. Oh, baby girl. Yeah, I know. Anyways, I've been reading The Great Gatsby all morning. I just came back from walking the baby girl and I came home to a package. Okay, yes, it's a book. Consumerism has a chokehold on me. I mentioned in my previous videos that I'm not in a book buying band for a reason. I need that dopamine hit, okay? The ADHD depression combo is hitting me hard right now. So I got a book. This one was influenced in two ways. I went to a GTA meeting, a teaching assistant meeting on Friday, and my friend of mine was telling me about a book that they were reading, and they pulled it out of their bag, and I immediately had to have it. Honestly, they were telling me about the plot, and I am interested. I am interested in the plot. I do know what the book is about, and I am interested. But the cover, oh my God, the cover. So it's a special edition. That's why it's beautiful. I looked online for the specific version, but for some reason Amazon only has this specific version. So it was kind of a, if I wanted to read it anyways type situation, just because I just don't get out of the house enough. So I do need to. Besides the point, irrelevant. Don't Let the Forest In by C.G. Drews. And they are the author of Hazelthorn. And I've been wanting to read Hazelthorn, actually. I've heard about it. I heard it was, I think, sapphic horror. And I'm very, very much interested in it. This is also, I think this is gay horror. I think this is about two boys, but horror nonetheless. And just look at this cover. Just look at this. And then the sprayed edges. And then honestly, this is what sold it to me, because I really don't know how I'm going to display this specific book, because I think the back of the book is my favorite part. The barcode bothers me, but look at that. Oh, you can see how shiny it gets in certain lights. But isn't this beautiful? Oh my God. People really do know how to do their jobs right when they pick the illustrations and covers and stuff like that for the books. Like, I'm just keeping people in business, right? I'm helping people keep their jobs essentially. 'Cause look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Sprayed edges. And then the front. I think that, yeah, the front's also shiny, see? So yeah, so honestly, well, I guess it depends how much, but even if I don't like this book, I am still going to keep it because of how beautiful it is. I showed my wall in the last vlog, so I'm not going to show it now, especially because it will be changing. I'm going to be moving some things around, but I decided that instead of displaying my vinyls like a vinyl wall, I am going to be displaying all my pretty books. All the books that have the covers that I think are that in my opinion, the right opinion, but in my opinion, are really pretty and really beautiful and worth displaying. So definitely this is gonna go up there.
A family gathering. So I'm just gonna see how many how many packages I could get done.
I'm okay. I'm really nervous. I'm really nervous because I'm about to teach in a couple of minutes, and as I've been mentioning many times that I'm substituting for one of my professors. So one, this is a really great opportunity because it's giving me a chance to teach something other than English composition, and it's like a way to prove myself that I am doing right in school. I can do this and everything like that. And it's an honor that one of my professors taught or chose me to substitute for her. I'm just really nervous. I'm feeling the first day of school jitters. Usually once I'm like settled into class and everything like that, I'm not that scared or nervous or anything like that, but I wish I wasn't as nervous as when I teach my classes, but then again, it is very, very much into the semester, so I don't have these nerves anymore. But I'm new, this is new, and it's online, so that kind of sucks. I'm nervous. I'm nervous. I'm nervous. I'm nervous. I wanted to come on here and update the vlog to see if that would help with some of my nerves, but if anything, it's just showing that I really need to work on my hair. I have a quick lesson on American modernism, and then it moves to modernist literature to then later transfer to The Great Gatsby. I reread the email that my professor sent me that talks about her class and how nobody turns on their camera. So that kind of makes it hard for the class to be engaging, and that sucks. I hope that this class is easy, breezy, lemon squeezy.
Because that was one of my goals last year and this year, so I'm back. And for those that don't know me, I wanted to introduce myself in case this video pops up on your page and you're like, who is this girl and why is she?
Good morning. Today's Tuesday, and I'm not teaching that substitute class today. I'm teaching my actual classes, and I kind of designed it today to be more of a, what's the word? Oh yeah, I kind of designed today to be more of like a workshop situation because I need time to do my work. I'm not behind, I just need time. I just need more time. This unit is a research essay, and I just know, considering all of the small assignments that were already turned in, that nobody has really done much when it comes to their research. So I decided to make today more of like a workshop situation so that they can't say, they don't have an excuse that they didn't have time to work on it or anything like that. I feel like I'm fair. I feel like this makes sense. I can't remember if I said it in any of my like previous clips or anything like that, but I had a little bit of some AI issues. So I'm hosting office hours to specifically talk about to specifically speak with the students that had high AI scores for their last essay. And luckily, spots are filling up now, but I have very limited spots because of this specific week, and I don't know if it's not fair to only limit it to this week, but I got things to do. I'm essentially giving them a second chance with this essay, especially if they like flat out say, oh yeah, like I straight up used AI. So yeah, basically a lot of empty spots on Monday. I'm not holding office hours today. And luckily, some spots have been filled in for Wednesday and Friday. So I'm just hoping that the rest of the students take advantage of this. I've noticed that it's my second class that has been taking advantage of these office hours, and that makes me kind of worrisome, I guess, when it comes to my first class, but whatever, hey, you know? So yeah, so today I, in this week's comfort sweater, happy Tuesday.
Okay, hi, hello. I don't have a mic, so I will be projecting. Okay, so as you guys can see, this wall is blank as heck. This wall is blank, and my original intentions for it was to have like a bookshelf there or something, but I kept going back and forth on what I really wanted there. Especially because I kind of need like a storage. I want to buy a printer one day, so it's like I need a place to put that and everything like that. So what I ended up going for are some more floating shelves. I did something very similar in my last apartment, so I want to try to do the same thing here, or emulate the same look here. But I want to start kind of different though. I have my floating shelves, right? I think this is just like a set of 3. I want to see how it would look doing a whole row across, filling out like this whole wall before I essentially get to down here. So the goal is to fill all 3 here to have kind of like a book ledge, and then come down from there. That way it could be like a whole book wall situation, you know? On this side, as you could see, I have a whiteboard, but I don't mind like having shelves ending right on top of the calendar while the bottom stays open for what I need, right? Especially because I need that calendar. That calendar, my ADHD loves that calendar. So the goal is to fill out this wall first before I get to that wall of shelves. So that's the goal. Break.
85. Like 85 is my perfect weather. So I decided not to put too much makeup on today. I just did really light makeup just so I'm not melting off. But I have read a little bit more of A Battle of the Bookstore, and I'm 30% into it now. It is so cute.
Good morning. Sorry for the background noise, but while I waited for my water to boil, I figured that I could finally show you guys my book wall. So the concept or the idea of it is that instead of having a vinyl wall, since I don't really have a lot right now, I figured I create space for all the beautiful book covers that I own. You can't really see them if you have them in a regular shelf, you know, like this one, right? You only see the spines. And if I flip them and display them on a bookshelf or on the shelf, it takes up space. And since I live in a studio apartment, I need the space. I need as much space as possible. So that's where the concept of the book wall comes from, or the idea of the book wall comes from. And it's still a work in progress. I just have it filled up with what I have at the moment. And then just like vinyl walls always end up changing with adding and taking away, I will most likely be changing this wall whenever I get new covers, or if I want to display other ones over other ones, and so on and so forth, right? So without further ado, here she is. But yes, here she is. So if you've seen other vlogs, these shelves were already up, but I shifted the shelves I already had and added a fourth one to make them longer. That way, since books vary in sizes, I won't be limited to like a certain amount, I guess. As you can see, this one's wider and taller. This one's definitely wider and taller. And these are shorter and narrower. So yeah, so these are acrylic vinyl shelves, but they do fit the standard book, as you could see. I think the thickest book that I have right now would be Jane Eyre. And that one really takes up like the whole shelf. I recognize that not all of my pretty shelves, or not all of my pretty books would be here, but the idea is that most of them. So yeah, so like I was saying, these are acrylic shelves, and then as you could see how, well, I feel like Wuthering Heights is the best example. Oh, also, The Master and Margarita is also the thickest book that I have on here, and it fits perfectly, like so perfectly. Anyways, some books don't want to stay up. And Wuthering Heights is the best example for that. As much as I try to adjust it and everything like that, it just won't stay up, and that ends up knocking over all the other books. It's getting really frustrating. However, I also added to this fishing wire, or like this clear wire, and I've attached it. I have to fix this one specifically. As you can see, it's like, I don't know if you can see, but it's like, it's loose. It's loose for my liking. The one on that third shelf is the perfect length, because this one's also a little loose. It's just, it's tighter because of Wuthering Heights. But, so I have this fishing wire situation here, clear fishing wire to hold my books. And then these little hook bracket situations are actually from a portrait frame, picture frame making kit. So these are the little things that you would put in the back to be able to hang your frame. But I wanted something that could move so that it would be easier to maneuver to take off and on my books. And if they were to lean, see, like I said, this one's a little These are a little too loose, but like if they were to lean back, it would adjust very perfectly to the, because this opens up like this, you know? So yeah, I hope that made sense, but that is my book wall. The top shelf that holds my fanfiction zines and the Icarus in the Sun graphic novel, those will probably stay up there forever. Like those are their permanent home, but everything else around it will most likely change whenever I am ready to change it. I'm really sorry for the lighting. It's a cloudy day, but there she is in all her glory. Okay, hi, hello. Sorry if you could hear the AC in the background. But yeah, we have come to the end of the video and I realized that I haven't done any updates whatsoever. I'm not going to do reading updates because since it is currently the 4th, today's April 4th. Happy April, by the way. That's crazy. Anyways, I do want to do a reading wrap-up situation for hopefully the next video. That will hopefully be up before this one, is what I'm trying to say. So yeah, but a lot happened today, or this vlog, I think, hopefully. A lot happened this vlog, even though I feel like I've been in the same spots and situation in every single vlog. But as I mentioned, this week I was a substitute for a professor of mine in her American Literature Survey class. So these are like the sophomores, as opposed to teaching freshmen like I've been teaching. And it went well. I think, in my opinion, in my perspective, everything went really good. I was really, really excited that a few students actually did engage with me. It was still hard because this was still an online class and nobody turned on their camera except for one person in that class, which I think is very interesting because I do have a lot of people turning on their cameras in my class. So I guess just different ways to enforce that rule. But yeah, people were engaging in the discussion through the chat. Some people did unmute themselves, and I came in to that class with guided questions. But for me, the idea was to not really use those guided questions as much, only to use them when there's like a lull in the conversation, if the class isn't engaging or anything like that. And luckily that was the case. I didn't really need to use my guided questions a lot. I feel like I did end up using them just like only in the beginning to kick class off. Yeah, once the conversation started flowing and they started asking questions, or I started asking questions from the comments that they were saying and everything like that. Yeah, everything was just going great and I'm very happy and very excited. Spoiler alert, I guess. I did end up really liking The Great Gatsby, but again, I'll go into more detail about that in my reading wrap-up, so stay tuned. In my perspective, substituting for my professor was a success. And I'm very honest, I would say, wow, this sucked. So I could honestly say that that's not the case right now. And that's very exciting. Another thing that I know I talked about in the middle of the vlog is turning in teaching portfolios and having a yearly review situation going on. So I turned in my portfolio and luckily, I guess it was good enough. During my review, they didn't say anything negative in terms of the content of my portfolio, so that's pretty cool. And I was really worried with some of the evaluations that I had, I guess, but luckily I think they understand that one loud voice doesn't speak for the many. And my review, like my actual meeting with the directors of the graduate teaching assistant program, went really good. It went really good. They said that I was making some really good progress because they know that I'm very new to the whole teaching aspect and everything like that. They were giving me some really, really good feedback and that I'm on the right track and everything like that. So I think that's a success. I'm just really happy that I ended March on a very high note, I think I could honestly say. Despite all of the bad mental health days that I had throughout the month, I could honestly say that I ended March in a good headspace, and also just when it comes to everything that happened event-wise. Again, I ended it in a high note, and I'm really, really happy about that. Especially because I've been seeing my therapist for years, and even before I lost all the weight and everything like that, she had been saying that she really, really needs me to go see a nutritionist. And I finally took that step and I saw a nutritionist. And for me, that's another highlight moment of ending March, because one, I finally took that step, and then two, turns out it's something that I really needed, and I would not have realized that, I guess, until I actually talked to the nutritionist. And I'm really excited to start this new journey having a nutritionist. So yeah, I think that's it for wrapping up this vlog. If you enjoyed your stay here, please consider subscribing if you're not already. I try to post every week unless I get really busy with school, and if not, I post as soon as I can. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will hopefully see you in the next one. Bye.
You know I'm such a fool for you. You caught me wrapped around your finger. Do you have to let it linger? Do you have to? Do you have to? Do you have to let